Hello everyone, TP here, and today we're in the final model season, Season 12. Now, Season 12 has probably been the most nostalgic season of the hit era because I used to own 2 DVDs from this season, and I'd say I watched over half of this season at that point. And seeing the CGI faces on model sets back then were really fun, but what do I think of it now? Well, let's find out by taking a look at today's list of episodes. Which, let me tell you, it's not going to be good. Rosy's Fun Fair Special. You wonder why I put this below Push Me Pull You? Well, let me tell you. It has a great lack of railway realism. Like, I'm not kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4 chains uncouple from Rosy's train. What is happening right now? Like, is the hit era starting to get sick of... Is it? I guess this really shows that hit really does not like its secondary characters. And it could probably, and this episode could probably show what they could have done to them. Like, the returnees like Donald and Douglas, Duck, Oliver, Toad, all those guys. This feels like the prime example of what could be done to them. And that's why I have to consider this the worst of Season 12. Just for that very reason. And there are too many other reasons why this episode is awful. 0 out of 10. Okay, so for the sake of not getting myself bored to death talking about these episodes, I am just gonna try and rush through them. Well, not all of them. Just a couple of them, because some of them are obviously bad. Some of them that lots of people may not like. But if they do like it, that's fine. I'm just stating that maybe lots of people don't like these episodes that are coming in my next few rankings. So, to run through it real quickly, Push Me Pull You, 0 out of 10. Don't Go Back, 0 out of 10. Thomas Puts the Brakes On, 0 out of 10. Henry Gets It Wrong, 1 out of 10. Saved You, 1 out of 10. Thomas and the Billboard, 2 out of 10. The Man in the Hills, 2 out of 10. Tram Trouble, 3 out of 10. And Excellent Emily, 4 out of 10. Okay, let's just go through the normal process for the rest of the entire video. Duncan and the Hot Air Balloon. Carrying a hot air balloon on a flatbed while already inflated is just ridiculous as hell. Very obvious there. But I honestly still like that Duncan's old character portrayal from Season 4 actually comes back into play this season, just like it did in Duncan Drops a Clanger, and what else? I think that's it. I think that's the only episode where Duncan was really careless. I don't know if he was careless in Old Mine or Duncan does it all, but I don't know. Duncan Drops a Clanger is the only one I can think of that he's really careless in, because he just goes over a huge amount of bumpy tracks and he does literally the same thing here. But still, it's an alright Duncan episode. I'm surprised that Duncan didn't get any bad episodes in the hit era, at least in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's an episode where an engine takes a gimmicky train to such and such location. But the main character isn't Thomas, so I'm gonna give that a huge plus for that. 5 out of 10 though. It's alright. Toby's Special Surprise. I don't have much to say on this one, other than I like how it expands Great Waterton's bit of research. And Toby is not a coward in this episode, thankfully. 5 out of 10. Steady Eddie. Okay, now the reason why I didn't put this as the obvious bad ones, the ones below 5 out of 10, is because I think the chase sequence at the end with Edward trying to get the water wheel back is very cool to see, and Edward not giving an absolute crap about anyone's attention towards him. That really reminds me of Edward's exploit, where he didn't give a crap if he had one axle. That's really something, even whether intentional or not. It's still really nice nonetheless, but the way in which how we get to this point is just stupid. I mean, yeah, Edward's out of character in this episode, but at least he changes by the episode's end. But I mean, I wish you could have had James in this role, just like you had like, this feels like Edward strikes out, but kind of better, at least in my opinion. But yeah, you could have still replaced Edward with James, and I mean, honestly, it would have been a much better episode. But I like that Edward actually doesn't give a crap about anyone's attention towards him. But if this were James, that would be a lot better, because James has always been proud of attention and is a really big attention seeker. But if they did that with him, then I would have loved that reference, whether that would be an intentional thing or not. But yeah, Steady Eddie with Edward in it, it's alright, 5 out of 10. Percy and the Bandstand. I literally have nothing to say on it. I mean, it's a decent Percy episode. It's not the worst I've seen. I mean, come on, but I've seen better Percy episodes. But yeah, Percy just takes Lady Hat around the railway to 3 locations. They go to Great Waterton, that's it. But, I mean, I like what Percy tries to do. I mean, he tries to keep the surprise from Lady Hat, so that's something. But I have nothing to say on this episode other than it's actually a pretty decent Percy episode, 6 out of 10. Heave Ho Thomas. Wow, it's a coincidence that I put this as number 6 on my list, and it's already episode number 6. If you're going off the order that you think it's in, which is probably the UK dub order, I think. I don't know. I just like to follow that order. But yeah, Heave Ho Thomas is honestly it's honestly a decent Thomas episode. It's probably the best. Well, actually, it's not the best of the Thomas meets the new character. That obviously goes to Hector the Horrid, but this is still a pretty decent one too. I really like Hank in this episode. I think I enjoyed this episode purely for him. But yeah, I don't have much to say on this one. 6 out of 10. The party surprise. Oh yes, here is the start of my top 5 for season 12. Okay. Colin is a very nice contrast to Cranky, and honestly, I like what Freddy tries to do in this episode. Have the party take place at the wharf so that Colin could be in it. Like, that's such a really nice idea. I mean, it's kind of sloppy, but it's still sweet. To see Colin get the dub at the end, because you know he gets to be in the party. But I mean, Freddy helped him, but he still gets the dub. So, yes, it works. And it's honestly such a shame that we'll never see him or the wharf again, because Colin, in his introductory episode, which is what we're talking about right now, is a good character, and the wharf that has been introduced in Season 10 was a really neat location. But, I mean, it's nice to see the wharf in winter again. Just like Thomas's Tricky Tree, just except with better lighting. That's all. I mean, I guess the actual last time we see the wharf is probably the Man in the Hills, I think. I don't know. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, the party surprise, not terrible, but not fully good either. Just decent. 6 out of 10. Best friends. Like Percy and the Bandstand, I've got nothing to say on it other than Thomas and Percy's friendship is still intact, somewhat. Um, and it's very appropriate that these two get the finale episode of the model series. I get that's really appropriate since they are the two biggest characters after all. But other than that, I've got nothing to say on this one. It's a standard Thomas and Percy episode, 6 out of 10. Gordon takes a shortcut. While I hate the fact that Gordon literally just takes a shortcut just for the sake of plot, I really do like I really do like the other half after like Gordon heads into the logging mill. Like Gordon hears Stanley's whistle, or what he thinks is Stanley's whistle anyway, even though it's actually Ben's whistle. But that's actually not Ben's whistle. But yeah, I have not much to say on this one. It's a pretty good Gordon episode, as always. But then again, I've got not much to say on it. It's a nice Gordon episode. Stanley's good, even though he doesn't, even though he just kind of only speaks. I think he has only 2 lines of dialogue, but that's fine. I don't mind Stanley in this episode. But yeah, it's a good Gordon episode. 7 out of 10. Mountain Marvel. It's a really nice conclusion to the Peter, Sam, and Proteus arc. The crash was really great. I honestly like I think it's probably like the final time we see like a flatbed flying up into the air like we saw in like season 8 or something. And calling all engines with the paint flying into the air. Like, I think this is the last time we see a flatbed fly into the air in the model series. I don't know if they did it again in the CGI series. I might be wrong about that. But this is probably the last time it's used in the model era anyway. As far as I know, I don't remember. I don't really remember all of season 12, sadly. But yeah, this is a really good Peter Sam episode to end Peter Sam's character on. It's 9 out of 10. James works it out. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I'm not gonna say this is the best thing ever, but it is a fantastic James episode. While I would prefer the idea of James being in the replacement of Edward in Steady Eddie, this is fantastic as well, if not just as fantastic. Like with James not listening to Hector because he's a truck, and you know how James is with trucks. He's not very trustworthy with them. And that has been an ongoing thing since day 1. And to see it end on such a high note is such a breath of fresh air. Whether it was intentional or not, I really like that they actually did that. Having James, giving James an episode with a new character from season 11, who is an actual truck, and has developed from that season, and as I said, is a truck. And yeah, we know how James is with the trucks. I said it earlier. He is not very trustworthy with them since day 1. Anyway, yeah, this is a fantastic James episode, and honestly one of the best James episodes of the show. I mean, it's not the best of the show, but it's definitely one of the greats. 10 out of 10. And that is my ranking list for season 12. I mean, I know I had to rush through some of the episodes, but I didn't want to just get bored talking about them. And honestly, I'm just getting sick of these hit era episodes. Good God, I will probably have to do the same thing with seasons 13 through 16, just rush some of the episodes through, whether they're obviously bad or not. But yeah, I just had to do it for this season, starting here. And overall, I think season 12 is frankly not a good season by any means possible, but I am going to make the argument that seasons 10 and 11 are worse. Now before you shoot me, I'm going to get my protection vest on and you guys need to let me explain. So, the reason why I hate season 10 more is because of its mostly lifeless stories, dumb plots, and idiotic characters, and the lighting just looks kind of bland in my opinion. And I think season 11 is much worse is because of its yellow tint that makes me want to throw up. And the absolute atrocity of 5 specific episodes from that season, as I've talked about in the previous video, and that they just pissed me off to no end. Season 12 has some episodes that are way worse, but I do like the idea of a modeled CGI hybrid. They are what make me come back to this season and wanting to see the mouths move and faces emote. So I'm going to give the crew major points for that interesting idea. And that is pretty much the entire hit era. A not so good era, as far as I've looked through. So to conclude, here is my ranking of the hit seasons. I'm going to give them an actual description this time. Actually, we'll do that in the season rankings. When we get to that. But anyways, the ranking of the hit seasons are number 5, season 11, number 4, season 10, number 3, season 12, number 2, season 8, and number 1, season 9. And that completes the model series of Thomas and Friends. I really did enjoy the journey through these 2 eras, well, mostly the classic series anyway. And it's been really fun talking about most of these episodes, especially the best ones of all time, like Edward's Exploit, Gallant Old Engine, Rusty and the Boulder, Thomas and the Jet Engine, etc. But of course, it has its bad to awful ones like Rheneas and the Roller Coaster, Push Me Pull You, Rosy's Funfair Special, Thomas's Frosty Friend, etc. But it was a fun journey in these eras nonetheless. So, I thank you all for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the first ever CGI season of Thomas and Friends. Bye-bye!